Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing good. So today in this lesson we'll learn how to generate Fibonacci series in Appian using recursion. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get right into the video. Let me quickly create an expression rule for that. Okay, and we'll name it as k generate Fibonacci numbers. Cool. Create. So this has been created. Now what I'll do, I will create a rule input, okay, for storing the generated numbers. Okay, we'll name it as numbers, maybe numbers, and this should be number integer array. Okay, now what I have to do, I will have to save the changes. If I don't save the changes, it will not work as expected because I'm going to call this rule inside itself. So in order to make it work, I will have to save the changes every time I make any change in that rule. If I just call this rule k generate Fibonacci numbers, I cannot see any parameters because I haven't saved this rule yet, right? I have created this rule input which I can't see in here. So if I want to make use of this parameter, I will have to save this. Okay, let me quickly save this. Now if I just call this again, rule k generate Fibonacci number, I should be able to see that parameter. I can see this now, numbers. So that's how it works. Okay, but even before calling this rule, I will have to initialize a local variable. Let me first declare a local variable. Okay, local variables, will name it as local numbers. Okay, so we'll use if condition to check whether my rule input is null or not. Okay, if it is null or empty, a bank is null or empty, ri numbers. Okay, if it is null or empty, by default the initials of my list should be 0 and 1 because Fibonacci numbers always start from 0 and 1. Okay, so it should take 0 and 1 if it is null or empty, else use the value of ri numbers. Alright, now I will call my rule k generate Fibonacci numbers. Okay, numbers, here I have this one parameter numbers. What I'll do now, I'll write the logic for appending the sum of two preceding numbers in my list. Okay, append, will make use of append function. Append, I am going to append my numbers in local numbers. Okay, and what I need to append, I need to append the sum of last two preceding numbers. Okay, I will have to reverse my list, reverse local numbers. Okay, so I'm reversing the list and picking up the last number. Okay, so we'll pass the index as 1 and then plus, let me just copy this, my bad, control Z, copy this and paste the same over here. I will have to pick the last two numbers, right? So here it should be 2. Okay, now this is done, but again this will go into infinite execution. I will have to handle this with some condition, so we'll use if condition over here. Okay, but even before that I need to know how many numbers I am going to generate. So we'll declare another local variable for that, local list. Okay, we'll use enumerate function. Enumerate, let's say I want to generate first 5 Fibonacci numbers. So enumerate of 5 plus 1. Okay, now this is my list. I want to generate first 5 Fibonacci numbers. Alright, now I'm going to handle this with if condition. If, okay, if count of local numbers, okay, local numbers minus 2. Why minus 2? So let's say if I want to generate first 5 Fibonacci numbers, my expected output should be 7 numbers, including these two numbers as well as the initials. Okay, so count of local numbers minus 2. If this is greater than the count of local list, okay, once this exceeds the count of my local lists, it should return me local numbers then and there. Okay, local numbers, else call this rule. Cool. If I quickly test this out, let me first save the changes and test this rule out. It's returning me 8 numbers, 0, 1, 1, 2. See, by default it's taking 0, 1, okay, as its initial, and the sum of these two numbers is 1, which becomes a third number. Okay, then sum of 1 plus 1 is 2, which becomes a fourth number, and so on. Okay, it's returning me 8 items because here in local numbers I have 8 items. Okay, 8 minus 2 gives us 6. So 6 is greater than the count of local list. What is the count of my local list? It's 5. Okay, 6 is greater than 5. True. But it's calling this rule 6 times. We have to stop the execution of this rule once the count of my local numbers is 5, right? So once this becomes 7 minus 2, which gives 5, 5 is greater than count of local list. False. It is still calling this rule, which shouldn't be happening. Okay, so we have to use equals to, greater than or equals to. Okay, let's say the value of this is 5. 5 is greater than equals to 5, right? We have 5 items in our list, so 5 is equal to 5. True. It should return me whatever is there in local numbers. Okay, so now if I save the changes again and test this rule out, it should give me the 7 items. Okay, test output. Now it's returning me 7 items, which is correct. Okay, if I just generate the first 10 Fibonacci numbers, it should return me the 12 items, including 0 and 1. Okay, test rule. Okay, I will have to save it again in order to make it work. There you go, list of 12 items. So that's how it is working. Also, I would like to mention that I already have covered this topic in a video on my channel, but using deduce function, so please feel free to check that out. If you want more such videos, please like my video, share it as much as you can, and yes, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, cheers, bye bye.